guess in this instance, father doesn't know best. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Kevin Zwicker from Fast Count coming at you. And before I get into this video, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. In a day and age where we hear free agency rumors all the time, whether it's a guy or girl jumping from AEW to WWE or vice versa, we tend to hear all these different rumors as to where a certain individual is going to go. We saw this week at the Elimination Chamber where we saw Danhausen make his WWE debut, something that we have been hearing that has been in the works for quite some time. And one of the names that sounded like was going to be joining him, jumping from another corporation to the WWE, was none other than Dave Finlay. Ever since Dave Finlay's New Japan contract has ran out, it pretty much sounded like, for the most part, it was a slam dunk that he was going to go to the WWE with the connection of his father working there and WWE, whether you like it or not, being the biggest platform you could possibly have when it comes to showcasing your ability as a professional wrestler. But as we saw on tonight's episode of Dynamite, we saw Dave Finlay make his AEW debut, rejoining his stablemates Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd, and it's become official. Tony Khan has dropped the All Elite graphic for all three members of the Dogs. Now, from a stylistic standpoint and from a fit standpoint, I think AEW makes a lot more sense for Dave Finlay. We already had that connection between New Japan and AEW, so I'm sure that he has had the opportunity to at least see Tony Khan work up front. We all know that he has connections in AEW already with all of the New Japan talent that have migrated over there. So from a fit standpoint, I think this is a perfect situation for both sides. I think it's always funny that, and tends to be the case for the most part, right? Ever since, AEW has been a thing, and they've been able to compete with, the salary demands that WWE is able to throw around when it comes to, their ability to flex their financial muscles, and AEW being able to keep pace with them. WWE still always tends to have the leg up when it comes to certain free agents, just based off of the fact that, for the most part, if you're somebody who is, inspired to be a professional wrestler, or has dreamed about being a professional wrestler, or all these different things, your mind always tends to go to, I want to main event WrestleMania, or I want to win the Royal Rumble, or I want to compete in the Elimination Chamber, whatever. So WWE is always going to have that leg up. And we've seen multiple different instances of people wanting to forego larger salaries in AEW to get to WWE simply based off of the fact that this is that person's dream, or this is a platform that is much larger to where I'll be able to pivot to other opportunities. And I think with Dave Finlay making the move over to AEW, I think that personally he'll be presented better, because if he was going to start off in NXT, while NXT is great when it comes to the women, I think it's been abundantly clear over the last several years that the men's NXT division is lacking. And it's become even thinner now with guys like Trick Williams and Obafemi getting the call up to the main roster. So I think from that standpoint, I think that what they're doing down there at Full Sail isn't necessarily going to gel too well with what Dave Finlay is able to do in AEW, because just off the bat, he's going to be presented in a meaningful way. He already has his stablemates there. He's already entrenched in this feud that we're going to see with Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. I think that's already a solid position for him to be in. Eventually, when we get the return of Jay White, hopefully it's sooner rather than later, that is already somebody else we can see him associate with. I think all of the connections make the most sense, and I think that he might have dodged a bullet, like I said, because the NXT men's division really has been lacking for a long time, and it's just kind of crazy when you think about this. It's like, man, the guy's dad works there, and it's like, you already got your dad there as an ally, and you still forego WWE to join AEW. That just kind of shows that I feel like he had more trust in a guy like Tony Khan to book him in a way that is more towards his liking than Shawn Michaels and Triple H. But it's an interesting week for free agency. I think that if you compare the two signings that we both saw in recent time with Dave Finlay and Danhausen, I think for the short term, Danhausen is going to have a more meaningful impact. We're already seeing t-shirt sales doing very well for him ever since he joined the WWE. But eventually we're going to see him settle into that R-Truth role, while David Finlay, I think, can make a more meaningful difference for AEW when it comes to their on-screen product. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Did you think David Finlay was for sure going to go to WWE? Are you shocked that he's in AEW? Or did you think that all along he would end up in AEW just because of all the other things that kind of connect the dots and make the most sense? Let me know in the comment section, guys. So remember to hit that like button and subscribe. I am Kevin Zwicker. I'm out.